paying you every month. They have access to this care. They have teeth. They all have teeth. They're all eating. So let's make sure those plans just renew. Another point that we found, and this is something that we've been really working on, is are your plan benefits customizable based on patients' needs? And what I mean by that is, if you look at patients across the board, you've got George here. He suffers from perio. He's got poor dental habits. He doesn't do a great job. You've got Megan. She has an electric toothbrush. She's got a water pick. She's got really good genetics. I mean, let's face it, some people have better enamel, harder teeth than others. And so she's got these needs. She really likes whitening. You've got Timmy, who tries his best, but his teeth are more soft. He drinks a lot of soda. He doesn't brush so well. So you've got all these different patients across the board, yet we're trying to cram them into a single plan, one size fits all. We think that everybody wants an exam, clean, and x-ray twice a year with this and this and this, and that may not be the case. So we recommend, if possible, to have some different frequencies that patients can choose, and ideally your hygienist as well as you as the doctor are going to spend some time. You're going to figure out what makes sense. So perhaps based on how they look, they can come in every 9 months for a cleaning exam and x-rays. Or perhaps you think they should come in every 6 months, but they just don't have the money. We have found that when offices only offer a 6-month, we've talked to patients that didn't buy the plan, and we've asked them why, and they've said, you know what, I don't care what the doctor says. I don't want to come in very often. I come in every 4 years right now, and now he's trying to get me to come in every 6 months. So I'm not going to buy that product. So even if you bought the 12-month, even if that's not ideal, you're getting him into your ecosystem. And then when he comes back in, as he gets comfortable, you can try to say, hey, you know what? You have a lot of buildup. You'd actually benefit from coming in every 9 months, or we're starting to see these problems. You ought to come in every 6 months. And so at least they're connected to your practice, so that when they do have a toothache, they need some treatment, they're paying on your plan, they're coming to you, they're not responding to the next marketing offer. They're not going to Google to look up, hey, who's got a free exam and x-ray coupon going right now, because I don't want to pay. So by giving the patient choice, you're able to stratify them based on their needs, but also their budget. Doing a new patient special for $49, you get them in one time, but doing a new patient special where they come in and get the care they need for $12 a month is a little bit better, because you're setting them up for long term. The next thing that we found that's real helpful is, can your patients add optional services within their plans so that they can customize them, but also that you can maximize revenue? Traditionally, when we've done these plan builds, take fluoride, for instance. I have doctors, half of them, that say, hey, I'm going to include fluoride in every one of my plans because that's what I want to do. I've got other ones that say I'm not going to include fluoride. I've never had dental insurance. When I go into the hygiene, most of the time, if they're doing a good job, they say, hey, would you like fluoride? Next question, of course, is always, how much does it cost? Well, here's the benefits of fluoride, and it costs $25. Okay, well, I'm here, my wife's here, I've got a couple of kids, so it's $100 for fluoride. How does my budget look? I've got to make this $25, $50, $100 decision every time I'm in the chair. So I do it or I don't do it. Next time I come in the chair, 6, 8, 9, 12 months later, hey, do you want fluoride? Remind me again, how much is it? What does it entail? Why should I do it? And so they're constantly having to resell these services. If to those base packages, you can actually create some add-ons packages that you can sell the services that you want to promote. Maybe you do Botox. Maybe you do sleep apnea. Maybe you just invested in a cone beam. Any of these services, bleaching, fluoride, emergency exams, nitrous, these are services that patients will pay for if they're given the chance. But instead of putting them all into your base package product and having to increase that price, you can have them as add-ons so that patients that really like bleaching can add bleaching. Patients that need perio by the perio frequency, and then they can add any and all included x-rays, they can add fluoride. So the more options that you can give patients and move them from paying $25 a month to $30 or $35 or $40. We've actually found, we were surprised, there's about 30% of patients that just buy everything because, and we've asked them why, and they say, well, I really like my teeth. I value dental hygiene, so I want everything. Well, did you even read what, like, nope, I just want everything. Like, give me the best. I want the best. And so, you know, if they're going to pay you another 10, 15 bucks a month, I mean, that's $100, $150 a year. If you added that into an annual one size fits all, and you start trying to have a plan that's 500 bucks a year, you're going to price out that other 70% of patients. So this allows you to charge differently for your services. Another unique thing we're doing, and I should point out these, Heather will share this. We've got a lot of these questions, if not all of them, on our website. If you guys even just take one of these things, two of these things, and implement it yourself, we of course would love to help you, but just implement one or two of these things, you'll see success. So we have offices with rewards programs, patient rewards programs. And basically, if you look at dental insurance, one of the best things for the patients that it has is it has $1,000 or $1,500 a year towards actual treatment. So I buy Delta Dental, and if I got to get through the waiting period, and I got to deal with the downgrades and all that garbage, but a lot of patients don't even realize that. So this patient reward program, the way it works is every time a patient comes in and uses their benefits, they'll actually get points towards dollars that they can use for treatment in the future. So again, back to the scenario I was talking about. You have teeth, you don't have dental insurance, you need access to this care. This is the best value and the best way to get the care you need. And I'll actually reward you every time you come in and use your preventative benefits, because I know it's going to keep you healthy. And if you're with me for several years, you can earn several $100s so that when you do need those silver fillings replaced, or you do have a child that needs a filling, or you do have a crown, you've essentially been able to save up some points to use for treatment down the road. So as you commit to me and you're a plan member, I'm going to commit back to you, and we're going to have these patients now for years, not months, and they're going to be able to build up benefit towards treatment. The other thing that's so awesome about these rewards, so too many dentists, when it comes to marketing, the thing that's frustrating is you're trying to figure out what offer and how do I lever things to get people to respond. You know, the old infomercials, well, call today, call in the next 10 minutes and we'll double your offer, or we'll free shipping, or, you know, all these essentially gimmicks, because you've got to do them to get people in. Well, the rewards are such a more powerful tool than discounting. So imagine you're slow in September. I've got these openings in September. I pull up my membership base. I've got 42 members that have rewards. And then I look and I see that 22 of them have a treatment plan over $500 or $1,000 or $2,000. Well, you could actually send out a promotion to those patients and say, hey, in the month of September, if you want to come in and do this treatment, we'll actually double your rewards, or we'll triple your rewards. So instead of giving them a discount, what you're saying is you're a plan member, you earned $100, I'll actually double or triple that if you want to do this $2,000 treatment plan. It's a different way than discounting, but it's a way that you can use it to close treatment and to get people to move on things. So it's been really effective. It's great for treatment acceptance. It's great for retention. If they drop off your plan and they decide to cancel, they're going to lose all those points. As well as your reviews, when people use those points, if you can get them to post a review and ask for a referral, they're usually pretty dang pumped because they just got a filling for, in their mind, free. Now, on the math side, again, going back to the initial question, are your plans profitable? We've got to make sure the math works so you're excited and it makes sense when people earn and use rewards. You don't want to be like, oh, great, they're using rewards. That means the plan design and the profitability is off. You got to make sure this is the best option for patients as well as your practice. Another thing that we see that works really well, do you have a team incentive program? If your staff, front office and back office don't like this program, or they don't think it's the best value, you know, I've seen front desk gals before that will refer a third-party discount insurance plan because they think they're helping the patient. Hey, you know, you have a $4,000 treatment plan. If you go sign up for this discount plan, it's only $30 a year. You'll actually get 30% off at our practice. It's like, oh no, don't do that. But they think that they're helping the patient. So if they get $5 or $10 when somebody signs up, that's really going to motivate them. I've got an office right now that has a team goal. As soon as they hit 500 membership patients, they're taking every team member plus a significant other on a cruise. And granted, that's a lot of money, but if you've got 500 membership patients paying you $30 a month, that's $15,000 a month you're getting in recurring revenue. Take your staff on a cruise. That's awesome. Another one is, do you market your plan effectively in your reception area, front office, back office, at checkout? So often you go into offices, you have no idea that they even have an in-house plan. And again, part of it is they don't want to sell it, but make sure you market this properly in your office. Again, we talked about this a little bit, but do you have a plan to reach all current patients after the COVID-19 restrictions are lifted? If you have a robust membership plan and you can promote that when this happens, as these restrictions, hey, we want to be there for you. Has your job changed? Have your benefits, have you lost your benefits? Are you looking to save money? Here's the solution we've created for you. You're going to retain more of those patients. You'll also have a better option when you start trying to spend money on external marketing. Do you actively promote your plan on your website? Make sure it's there front and center for people. You promote it through external marketing and social media. Again, if you're going to send out 20,000 mailers saying, hey, come into our office, you might as well put something on there that, hey, we've got a great in-house plan. If you don't have dental insurance, we'd love to see you. Can patients enroll on your plans outside your office? Sometimes that's nice for patients to be able to hit your website and go through things. This is an office that we launched. These numbers are actually off now because this is about 2 months old, but we launched them in June of 19. They've got 188 members. They've got over 6,000 a month coming in the reoccurring revenue. And right now, even with the COVID, even the last 4 weeks, they still have had this 6,000 a month coming in. And so it's really helped their practice to maintain some cash flow through this time. So they're actually collecting money on hygiene right now, even though their hygiene's been shut down. So again, it's really nice to have this steady flow of income. One thing I wanted to point out as you guys build your membership plans, if you guys have recently bought a practice or you're looking to sell a practice, when you buy a practice or sell a practice, really you're just buying the patients, right? The patients are where the revenue is. So you might spend like 1x annual revenue per insurance patient. Maybe those insurance patients are worth $500 a pop. Well, when you buy a practice, those patients that have Aetna or Delta Dental or whoever, they can go to any doctor they want, any dentist they want. And so if they really like that dentist and he leaves, you buy a new practice, you're at risk of losing some of those patients and that goodwill. And so you're trying to get the seller doctor to stay around for a while, and you have this transition plan. Well, we're finding that membership patients that have rewards built up, they've got these different services, they're paying monthly, they're tied to the practice a lot tighter than an insurance patient. You should be able to get double or triple when you sell that practice on those membership patients. So in this scenario here, if you had 300 patients, they were spending $29 per month plus $300 of additional treatment, you potentially are going to add $270,000 to your practice. Now I'm going to tell you right now, if you're starting from scratch, it could take you 5 years to get those 300 patients. It's kind of a long-term play. This isn't a magic bullet. In 6 months, you're not going to have 300 unless you're really a large practice. But if you consistently added 5 patients, 8 patients, 2 patients, and you build up to this, it's going to really help when you sell that practice. It'll help immediately too. I mean, you're going to do, a couple $100,000 a year, but you're going to be able to get a lot more when you sell. So that brings up my next point. When you're running these plans, and I apologize, I don't know who's on the call, but if you have hygienists that you're paying on production, you've got maybe an associate doctor that you have now or you're thinking of hiring, and you're going to pay them on collections. And you've got essentially these different subscriptions and different add-ons and these different things. You do have to have an efficient way to assign the plan revenue and services and credit the appropriate provider in your practice management software so that your reports work. So we've got some different things we can suggest. And the number one thing I would suggest is that in your practice management software, you set these plans up just like you would with a fee schedule and you would with insurance, and you assign those patients to the insurance. The monthly payments can get a little trickier because they're essentially, unearned revenue. And one way to handle it is what we typically do is we come in and put in a dental menu bridge, and we recommend that you set up a separate practice membership account. So have your monthly payments, if you bank at Chase Bank, open another bank account at Chase Bank and have those payments, those monthly payments being directed or pointed to that other bank account. Have that money going into that other bank account so that you have a clear picture. You've got statements, you've got revenue, you can see those payments coming in. What we have, there's some different ways you can do that. Then when you move that money from your practice membership account, you can just input that into your software as a one lump sum, and that works okay. That's what we'd recommend if you don't move forward with something like we're offering. There's some workarounds with reports and some different things, but you'll want to think through if you launch something of, well, how do I account for this revenue and make it make sense? So you build a really robust menu over here, but now I've got to make sure my office manager doesn't swear at me every time I walk in the office. So with our system, what we do is we set up, well, we have you set up this membership holding account. We have the patient pay into that membership account. And then when you render services, you're going to provide services to the patient. We actually have you log those benefits into a software that we've built. And when you log those benefits, then we actually produce a report for you, and we tell you how much revenue to transfer from the one account into the other account, and then how to record that into your software, your practice management software. So this flow is built exactly like an insurance flow would be built. If you decide to accept Delta Dental, you go in, you create in Eaglesoft or Dentrix or Open Dental, you're going to create this fee schedule. You're going to assign patients to that fee schedule in your practice management software. Then patient comes in, you're going to provide services. You're going to then log those benefits, essentially. You're going to file a claim to Delta Dental. Delta Dental is going to send you an EOB with some money, and then you're going to apply that into your Dentrix as a payment. And that's essentially what this is, other than they're paying you directly the payments instead of Delta Dental. Obviously, there's no downgraded stuff. There's no waiting periods. There's no filing claims. There's not any of the garbage you deal with insurance. So to show you a little bit about how we run it with our widget, this is a simple checkout process that your front desk would do when a patient comes in. Number one, they would hit that log benefit. Two, they would look at the member and they'd find the member that just received services. Three, they would actually log the cleaning, exam, and x-ray and whatever benefits they have. If there's some upcoming ones, it'll show those as well. And they'll actually choose from a drop-down the hygienist and the doctor that did that work. And that's where you see in number 4, Karen, the hygienist, did the cleaning. And then they'll hit submit. And then 5, they're done. That's all your staff has to do. And then once a week, we'll provide a report that's going to look like this. That's going to tell you, hey, transfer $172 from one account to your other account and record it into Dentrix as follows. Put in $29 for the pro fee for George, put in $20 for the exam, put in $40 for the x-ray. That's how you record that revenue into your practice management software. If you don't want to use a system that's as robust as this, I would still recommend that you offer a few options to your patients. I would still recommend you offer monthly payments. And again, we can help you with some workarounds on some reports. You won't be able to get as robust as you could using our tools, which means you won't be able to get quite as many members signed up and as much revenue, but it's still going to be substantially better than that first plan that I showed you. So that's basically what we've been up to, really changing the way the preventative benefits are offered in a way that patients can consume them in a different way. They can pick and choose and create customized subscriptions to your office, and then your office can receive the revenue from that and also account for it in a way that makes sense. You're able to have a more robust product that's better for patients, which means you have more patients on your plans, which creates more revenue, more consistent revenue now, and more long-term revenue. So that's pretty much all I've got. I can open it up to whatever questions you guys have. Be happy to answer them.
We've got one question here. What type of practice does this work for?
So it really will work for any practice. You know, we're pretty passionate about private practice. We really, I should say that the type of practice that we're looking for is people that want to build long-term relationships with their patients, and they actually want them to come in and receive preventative care. One thing this is not is we don't help design these plans to be like capitation is not what these are. We don't want people signing up for these and never using their benefits. That's not what we want. As well as we don't want people that really just want to churn and burn patients. This is built, if your practice model is to get patients and have them long-term year over year and get them to come in frequently for preventative benefits, that's really who we have targeted. This is built for that kind of a model.
Any other questions that we've got here? Oh, here we go. What do you charge for your services?
So that's a good question. So this is our pricing. We charge $795 one time for a plan design and kickstart. And that includes us. We're going to get a bunch of fee information from you, and then we're going to do a pretty robust intake process where you guys price the plans however you want to price them for your office, but we're going to help you walk through what you're going to include and make sure, again, that the math makes sense. So the number one question of, are your plans profitable? Are you excited? Can you get behind these? We're going to help you design those so that you are excited and it makes sense for your office. And then we'll actually design and print some literature for you that you can use to sell and promote the plans. We'll set up the software, and then we'll do some training with your staff. And so it's a one-time fee of $795. We actually, right now, anybody that's using Drill Down Solutions, we do $400 off. So it'd actually only be $395 instead of $795. As well as during COVID, a lot of offices have time right now to work on something like this, but the cash flow is terrible and the timing is, we don't know what's going to happen. So we are offering 60-day terms on the $395, and that's due 60 days after you're able to open for hygiene. So let's say we open May 1st, you're not going to pay us anything until really July 1st for that $395. So if you do want to do something, you say, well, hey, I really want to work on this, but I can't even sell anybody the product. We can get it all set up right now. You're not going to pay anything right now. You're going to pay $395 60 days after you open. We can, and I'd even recommend delaying the software training for your front desk until you're closer, which is fine. And then our ongoing, for the software, the front office incentive program, and our ongoing support, we charge $2 per member per month. So basically, if the fee for your plan is $27, $25 less the merchant fees go into your account, and $2 go into our account. So if you've got 15 members that you charge in May, then we would make $30. So it's a very reasonable way. Again, if you wanted to work on this right now, you're not going to be paying some monthly fee. Even if for some reason COVID got pushed 3 months, you're not going to be out any cash. We also, for the ongoing support and the front office incentive program, all of the plans have a $35 one-time enrollment fee. that patients pay, and that comes to us, and then we use that for our support and our ongoing stuff. And then we actually use $10 of that. If you remember, I talked about a front office incentive program. We use $10 of that to either go back to the front desk to reward them for signing somebody up, or we can just remit that back to you and you can use that for a team goal. But again, as it flows this way through us, you don't have to worry about administering that at all. We'll go ahead and administer that to the front desk in the form of gift cards. And so you don't have to keep track of anything if you don't want to. If you do want to, we can just remit it back and you can figure out what you want to do. So patient pays the $35, the patient pays the monthly fee, and we get the $2 split off. The dental practice pays $395.
That's awesome. Thank you for offering the $400 off for our people today. One more question. How hard is it to set up a plan like this?
So, I mean, if you wanted to engage with us, it's not too difficult. If you want to do it on your own, it just depends on how robust of a solution that you want to offer. So if you want to offer something on your own and you say, well, hey, I just want to offer, 2 plans and here's the price point for those plans, it really isn't that difficult. Really, the magic of it is offering something that has enough oomph that patients are going to want to sign up. So I would highly recommend doing monthly payments. Most merchant services or your bank or something along those lines can help you set up monthly payments. That also isn't rocket science. Where it does get tricky with the monthly payments is just how do I receive those? So one thing I would say not to do that I've seen is I've seen offices take the monthly payments and record those as a credit on a patient's account. And so when you run that, if you've got 100 people that have all been paying you these $25 things, those aren't credits. And so, it gets really scary because what happens is then when they need treatment, sometimes the front desk is taking that and saying, oh, you have a credit of $75. Let's use that. And it's like, no, it's not a credit. It's access to care. So I would definitely say don't enter it in as a credit. But again, we've been doing this for over 3 years, and the flow that we've described is actually pretty simple and seamless. And that's one of the reasons we charge this way too. So it's not real scary to get going, but they're not super hard. You just gotta make sure and think through, I'm charging what I need to make. How does that math work? How do we saw a lot of associates. So we've seen offices that put services in as 0. So they'll put a cleaning in at 0. They'll put an exam in at 0 in their Dentrix because it's a membership, right? So there's no fee. Well, the problem is if you have an associate doc who did 25 exams that week and it shows as 0, 0, 0, 0. Now when you run his production collection report, it shows zeros on all that. So he doesn't get credited for that. So you got to go run another report. And that's why most offices that don't use our system, they end up saying, man, that's a lot of work. I'm going to do a really simple plan and run it myself. And that's better than nothing, but it's not really filling the need and competing with insurance the way you could. So hopefully that answers. I'm happy to jump on an individual call too, whether you're going to do it yourself or not, and just kind of talk through it. Happy to do that at no charge. I'd be happy to chat with you if you want.
Great. Now, last call for final questions. Okay, well, thank you so much. One last question from me. For those that are interested in hearing more about this or working with you, what is the best way to get in contact with you?
So you can connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to. They're on our website, thedentalmenu.com. So thedentalmenu.com. These questions are on there for kind of a plan assessment. There's also a place you can schedule a demo, which will come to me right now. So happy to connect with you that way. Feel free to email me and or call. I mean, do you have the ability, Heather, you can send that out, or do you want me to post it?
Yeah, we can send that out.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming today. We appreciate everyone who showed up. We know that you have lots of choices in webinars right now. So thank you for joining ours.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Hope to see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks so much, guys.